go.
Oh, y'all, it has been something else getting here today.
It's required some 80s rock to get live.
Sure did. Little white snake.
Yes.
We are so happy to be here, though, and to share with you on the topic of your body, how it communicates to you, and how it is an intuitive tool that can support you in, following your heart, basically, and being able to discern what feels right for you, what doesn't feel right for you, when to follow your intuition, when not to follow your intuition. So we're happy to be here. I am Janet Raftis. I am here with my beloved
Ina Lucas, Shamanic Channel, co-founder, Kairos Healers Academy.
So we're both healers. Ina's a shamanic channel, and I am a quantum creatrix, divine feminine channel. And our passion, separately and together, we have a shared passion, is to support people in really remembering and accessing the power of who they are, their gifts over lifetimes that they came here to work with and to provide for its service and to show up as, and how to really tap into their truth and what their truth means for them and how they can know when to follow it and then to remove the blocks and the sabotage and all the stuff that will try to keep us from that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so now more than ever, there's so much noise in the field. There's so much distortion in the field. And there's so many people, so many voices that are trying to get you off course from what your real truth is. And that's why Janet and I just wanted to drop in here and just talk about the potency of the support system of your intuition and the importance of trusting your intuition and what happens when you don't trust it.
Yes. So trusting your intuition. I mean, I think one of the things I've noticed, and I've taught intuitive development for many years now, and one of the things that I've noticed is a theme and was a part of my story too is, well, how do I know if I can trust it? And we have this idea that being intuitive is like being psychic, right? Like you have these grandiose visions and it's like in the movies, right? But that's really not that is a part of what intuition can be, but it's not what it mostly is, right? Mostly intuition is the way that your body's communicating with you. And it's very subtle. And unfortunately, in our society, we have been taught to ignore the cues from our body. I mean, this is something we've been taught to perform on injuries. We've been taught to, suck it up. We've been taught to not emote, like just be strong. We've been taught to, go to school when our body feels sick. Like we've been taught that to listen to your body is actually a weakness. Like that's the messaging, is that your mind over matter, right? That your mind knows more than your body, and we should push through. And so we've learned to ignore the cues of our body, and we're very disconnected from our bodies. Lots of unresolved trauma in our society, and lots of concrete, and lots of busyness, and a lot that keeps us up in our heads. And so what happens is we start to miss those subtle cues. I mean, we've been missing them for years, and it requires attention and intention to come back to it. And that's the part that can be a little tricky. And depending on your level of disconnect from your body, and believe me, this is something that is probably 95% of our population experiences this. This is a part of our society. So if this is your story, there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just information for you so that you can start to do things differently. So when you have that disconnect, it can be hard to get back to the body. That's the part that's hard. But the part of it that is super simple is that your body is always speaking to you at every single moment. It is speaking to you. And so once you do manage to connect back in and start paying attention to it, it's actually very simple to have your greatest divination tool online. Like I always joke that like my body is greater than any deck of tarot cards, any pendulum. You know what I mean? Like stuff that I have to external to me that I have to remember. I don't take tarot cards with me everywhere I go. Don't take them to the grocery store. Do you imagine at the checkout? Let me pull a card on that, please. Should I get the zucchini or the yellow squash? Let me pull a card.
Right? It's outsourcing information
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
handing our power over rather than connecting into where the real information is and where we're constantly being guided.
Totally. And it's not like there's nothing wrong with tarot cards and pendulums, right? But you have the answer inside of you. You have it right here.
Yeah.
And it goes with you everywhere you go.
Yes. Custom designed for you.
That's right.
And I think people don't realize what happens when you constantly don't trust yourself and when you constantly don't follow your own intuition and when you continue to outsource and try to find answers outside of you. And there is a period of needing to get information from outside, but the more you get tuned into your own intuition and to your body's reactions, the more quickly you're able to respond and to react and to understand your yeses, your nos. But the thing is, when like the cost of not trusting yourself is disease. Physical body symptoms. You ignoring your body, numbing out to your body, not feeling your body's emotions will cause your body to try and get your attention and get your attention and get your attention until you finally start listening to your body through all of the pain and the physical symptoms that it will use to get you to listen.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
your body loves you that much. Your body loves you that much that it's trying to constantly get your attention when you're not paying attention to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is so true. It's because your body loves you so much. And so your body might give you a headache. And if you don't pay attention, it might then give you another headache and then another headache. And then pretty soon there's something that's a little more dire going on, right? If you are just, taking what most people in our society do, like popping an Advil or whatever, and not taking the time to listen. And so this is something that we're both really passionate about, because and that's not to say you should never take an, like, I'm not saying don't ever take an Advil, right? What we are saying is, when something is starting to bother you, like, take some time to be with it, to get quiet, to ask it. Like, it's amazing to me, even people who don't consider themselves intuitive, once they actually start to ask their body questions, they're shocked that they start to get responses, right? They're like, oh my God, I knew that I needed to do this thing, or this, I knew that I wasn't speaking my truth, or I knew I needed to have a conversation, or whatever, right? It's like, it's all right there. And so, I mean, I think it'd be helpful just to go over a few like ways that the body tends to communicate. Yeah. I'll do yeses and you do nos.
Okay. This should be fun.
Okay. So yeses are open and expansive sensations. This might, for me, it's like my heart does this, right? For some people, they feel it a lot in their solar plexus. I might smile. Sometimes I smile when something's a yes. You might feel tingles on your body or goosebumps, right? And there can be varying degrees too, right? Like sometimes I get an open heart and goosebumps. That's like a hell yes from my body. Fucking go for it, Janet.
My toes tingle, like I'm floating above the ground. Oh my God.
Totally. It's a sensation of wellness, of well-being, of contentedness that opens you up and makes you feel like, oh my God, yes. Now, sometimes it can be followed by a quick constriction. And I think that can be where we get a little bit, and Nina will talk about the nose in a second, but we can get a little confused there. So one thing I want to say is that sometimes those really, really exciting things that are like, yes, can then cause us to go, oh no.
Mhm.
Right. And so it's important to pay attention to that too. Is there what happens right before the constriction, right? Because our subconscious can come in and be like, don't take that risk. Don't, if you have a yes there, that worries me, right? We, right? Because your subconscious is often like not wanting you to do things that are going to be transformational, right? Your subconscious
No
wants you to
way.
like sit at home with the TV on or a book or just hiding out a lot of the time.
Mhm.
And so it's important to start paying attention to that. But if you get that sensation where you're like, there's an openness, at least initially, that's typically a yes. Well, it's always a yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excitement, goosebumps, hair standing up.
Yeah, tears,
Yeah.
like I get tears a lot. Like,
Yeah. Totally. Fire in the body, your body heating up.
hmm
Yeah, and so no's are a contraction, you know? No's, can be like, "Ooh, my stomach hurts," but in a, like, oh, that, like, almost like a repulsion, you know? Like, you may even feel your body slightly, like, pushing away, like you wanna contract, you wanna go away from it, yeah, like I often get an immediate like, "Ooh," uh, like not a nausea that's like, "I'm expanding
Yeah.
and this is pushing my edges." It's not a comfort zone. "Ooh,
Mhm.
that feels," like excited, scary. It's, "Oh, that actually feels toxic and wrong."
Mhm.
Um, yeah, or leaving the body.
Mhm.
Like, "I'm out of here," just,
Mhm.
all of a sudden you get space, like, I too much, like a response that takes you out, but it's like or it's heavy,
Mhm.
um, or you could feel empty in your body, like, if you just tune into a yes or no and you just don't get a feeling, like, if you don't get a yes, if you don't get any sense, like, it's just, it could be the feeling of a void energy.
Mhm. Yeah, and notice it too a lot in the heart to the throat, a constriction there,
Mhm.
where all of a sudden I feel like,
Mhm.
right, that tightness there.
Mhm. My
Oh.
body gets moved because, like,
Mhm.
oftentimes, I just have a dominant conversation with my teams to guide me, where I need to go and to move me from places that I shouldn't be, even, like, when I'm physically walking out. So, like, if you don't wanna catch an illness, let's say, like, my body reacts so strongly, like, I can be, in a grocery aisle or somewhere, and my whole body will just completely take me in a different direction from somebody
Mhm.
who might have something that's contagious.
Mhm. Yeah, it's amazing what your body knows because your energy field is picking it up. Your energy, your whole auric field that's huge around you, like so
Mhm,
big around you, has
mhm,
all these like sensors in it,
mhm,
right? And it's sensing all the stuff around you and it senses imbalances in other people.
mhm,
It senses toxicity in other people. It senses repressed emotions in other people. So, like, oh my God, Scott and I were driving down the street the other day and we passed this person, and we both, right after we passed him, we turned to each other and we were like, oh my God, did you feel that? And that was just a man walking down the street, but the
yeah,
man had so much repressed anger. It
yeah,
was like pouring out of him that, I mean, literally, we felt it through the steel of the car, right? I mean, because it's energy.
mhm. Yeah, so that that's just reminding me of, like, times when there've been, like, walking down somewhere and feeling actually a threatening person, like just
Mhm.
ice, like feeling ice in your body,
Yeah.
feeling cold, like, that sort of,
Mhm.
um, those are all indicators,
That's
That's not warm and fuzzy energy that says go towards that. That's like, go the other direction now.
Yeah. And if you're watching this and you're a woman, I think that this is also really important because we have been indoctrinated into a system that has us believing that we need to be nice, right? And so it doesn't matter if, like, somebody who we don't feel good about comes at us, we will override our mistrust because we need to be nice. We will not pay attention to our intuition because we feel like if we aren't nice, we are bad people. And we have been trained, hypnotized into this, right? And so this is like a really important thing for us to get over. I mean, I remember so many times being like, I knew I shouldn't trust that person, but I thought I was just being judgmental or bitchy. Right. And so this is something we have to have an awareness around, and to be willing to actually listen to that and be like, that person's energy doesn't feel good to me. I may not know exactly why, but I'm going to trust this sensation in my body. What is Debbie saying here? Hi, Debbie. Hi, Patty. I've been saying listen to your body for so long, but since I've made a decision to move in the direction I'm moving in and practicing yoga on a regular basis, I'm actually more connected to me than I've ever been. Awesome. Along with Reiki daily self-practice and meditation and many other disciplines. It's very cool to be able to know yourself more and more. I so love what you're talking about. You two are my all-time favorites, and I can't get enough. We love you. Yeah, I love what Debbie brought up here too, because it is the practices of healing and body awareness that really can support you, especially if that disconnect is strong for you, that can really support you in getting back in touch with your body, right? So both of the things that Debbie mentioned there are practices of awareness, a little bit different, right? They're both energetic practices, but yoga has a very physical component to it. And yoga will help you to release some of those emotions and stuff that are in there. And then energy healing, which is a practice of coming back and paying attention to your body and what's going on in there, receiving information from it. And that's actually something that Ina and I are also very passionate about. So we have to be able to work with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are just so many people that whose intuitive gifts are coming online, whose healing abilities are coming online, and to, you know, like people who, to me, being a healer is so much about absolutely trusting intuition. Janet and I are both feel, act, think. We feel first, then act, then think, and that's our operating system. And so you know, like, that's such a powerful tool as a healer, is that we're getting out of our heads, and we're really, when we're working with people, we're responding to energy in our body, their energy through feeling it, trusting our intuition through our bodies in that healing process. And as a healer, my body is, my gosh, my best tool. I feel everything. Like I get all the information from clients. I receive it all through body responses that intuitively guide me, that don't have me thinking, but have me so deeply in that process of following it through the body. And yeah, I mean, there's so much we could talk about on that, because it's also like, when you're following other people's energy, it's not about taking it on, you know, it's not about taking their energy in. It's an awareness and a noticing that causes a body reaction where you're still sovereign and clean, while being able to support people in their healing and their energy.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is it. I mean, that brings up a thing too, when you are paying attention to your body and you feel something all of a sudden, to ask the question of, is this mine? Right? That's a very valuable question, because a lot of times, for those of you who are highly empathic, which is most of the people Ina and I connect with and work with. So if you're watching this, you're probably highly empathic.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, to ask the question of like, ooh, what was that feeling? Right? It's still information. It's still intuitive information. Right. And there's just another layer of depth to that, is like, is this my hesitation, or is it that person's hesitation, or is it, right? And you will get the answer. When you ask the question, this is the thing to remember. When you ask the question, you'll get the answer. Then you got to trust the answer. Right. And you can ask your body, is this right? Like, I use my body as a validator too. Right. And when I get information, like, is this, and for any reason I doubt it, I'll be like, is this right? and my body will tell me always.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so we with all of this kind of bouncing around, Ina and I have we've put together a month-long healers initiation program, and we wanted to talk about it a little bit because we know that there are so many people who want so much to be healers and who know they are healers, but who don't know how to become healers, what to do, what the process is. They can't trust their intuition. They feel like they have to stay where they are. They've been told they have to stay where they are. And so there's a lot of, we know so many people who want so much to really step into being the expansive healer that they are, and to, no matter what, whether you're just beginning or whether you're, well in it, really jump in and expand that.
And not even necessarily being a professional healer, like,
Right.
you can be a healer and be, an accountant, a lawyer, a chef, a real estate agent, like, and that's kind of the coolest part is like all of these people that are like incognito healers,
Totally.
like working in this world, and you can see them when you're out there. I love it when I'm like, oh, I see you.
And she's just ringing up stuff at the grocery store.
Yep.
But she's like exuding the healer energy. And so many of us are coming online right now. Sneaky. That's right. It is sneaky healers. There are lots of sneaky healers in the world right now. But it is, oh, I know, Emily, I can't wait either. So there is, there's a calling and people are feeling it, but they don't know if they can trust it, right? They don't know if what they're feeling is real. And we had people, we did this full moon ceremony the other day, and so many people that were saying, like, I have felt this so strongly in me, but I've been afraid. I've been afraid to step into it. And then we did that ceremony and it gave a bunch of people permission to claim that, right? Which is huge, because I think a big part of it is that it's so different for a lot of us. I mean, when I started this, it was really different. And I was afraid to talk about it, and I didn't understand it, and I didn't know if I could trust what was happening, and because it's a big step. And so we wanted to let you know, if this is something that you've been experiencing, if it's something you've been feeling, if you have that little voice inside of you that's like, I am intuitive, or I do, like, people really, like, they always want my advice, or they say they feel better when they're around me. Even if you're a librarian, right? Like, you are a healer, and we want you to know that we see you.
You can't get away. You can't keep hiding out for that much longer. Because we need you. We need you in the world and your gifts. We need your superpowers. The world needs your superpowers. And Janet and I are just such advocates. Like, we need everyone who came in for this life, who came in for this planetary shift right now. It's like all hands on deck. Just all hands on deck in our truth, in our love, in our compassion, in in our ability to to shift the energy of this planet right now, back into that, bringing in the energy of the healer's heart, the compassionate heart. And it's just like at the dinner tables, at the post office. I mean, how many magical interactions, like, God, how many healings I've had sitting on a plane next to somebody whose world changes in the course of a flight because I just drop in with them, right? Like it's just everyday moments. It's like being the everyday healer where you have no idea the level of impact that you're having.
Yeah.
It matters.
I love the way you just described that. It's so good. And so we and then let's swing the baseball cap.
Now, everyday healer, we're bringing in the 4 initiation gateways of Jaguar, Raven, Phoenix, Frog, everyday healers. I'm gonna bring my cheerleader on. This is a course that we're bringing people through. This
Yeah.
month-long healers initiation container is 4 weekly initiations, 4 gateways that we totally channeled, that are profound initiations. These are beyond activations. This is an initiation of healers' codes, of healers' abilities, where we're going in with Jaguar and the element of earth, going into cleaning up anywhere where there's lack of integrity as a healer, coming into that realm of impeccability with your healing gifts. And then Raven comes in the earth element, opening up your the voice of your medicine and giving you the ability to move between worlds, go into the void, do remote healing. And then
Air
Phoenix
element. Sorry. Raven was air. You said earth.
And then Phoenix comes in with fire, and Phoenix is going to take us through the gateways of initiation that we went through in our lifetimes and transforming that, transforming the energy of what you lived into understanding the different initiations, the different transformations that you went through that brought in all of these specific gifts that are now being brought online. And then we end with some frog, which is water. And frog medicine is one of my favorite medicines because it's the medicine of your own love. And it's giving you the ability to go into the toxins in the body, to go into cancer, to go into, environmental toxins, and to be able to use the medicine of your own love to heal discord in the body and also to heal it for others.
It's going to be so good. And we've really created a container for it. So there's the 4 initiations. There are also 4 Facebook Live, weekly Facebook Lives in our community group that are going to be Zoom, actually Zoom hosted, so we can all get together, streamed as well into Facebook, into the Facebook group, private group. And we're going to have like homework prompts for you all. And it's going to be a way for you to really, really tap into your gifts, clear what needs to be cleared, and to activate what wants to be activated. And we have an amazing group of people. A couple of them are here right now: Bernie, Emily,
Patty.
And it's just the energy of it already is so super potent. And this is a way to really, like, first of all, if you've been feeling that nudge to step into your gifts, this is a beautiful, beautiful way to do that. And secondly, this is just a beautiful way to give you some really deep nurturing and healing, to be held and to access your gifts no matter what they are. Right. I mean, it's like, there's a bigger picture here. It's called the healer's initiation. But as Ina was saying, I mean, there are so many of us that are not necessarily healers like we are, but who are healers in the world. And this is about being able to claim that for yourself. And who knows what you'll do with it. Right. You mean, who knows? But anyway, the possibility.
You got frog power. I
That's
mean,
right.
you bring Jaguar to the grocery store. No idea what you're going to be cleaning up in aisle 5.
So that was going to happen. Joining in with a community of beautiful, heart-centered weirdos. We're so excited for it, and we'll drop the link there so you can check it out if you're feeling any of those little nudges. And we hope that even just talking about this was helpful for you. As you go forward, start paying attention, start tuning in, take a few minutes every day to just ask your body, like, hey, what's up? And start to, when somebody asks you a question, when your friend, calls you up and is like, let's go get coffee, and you feel the resistance to it, like, take a moment with that before you just say yes because you're nice, right? Like, really, like, make some intentions to just drop in a little bit here and there, because you will be amazed at how profoundly this can shift your experience.
Mhm.
Oh, wow, Patty. So Patty was in an accident, unfortunately, the other day. And when she was in the ER, she's saying that she allowed light language to flow through her, and it was healing for the woman who caused the accident. That's really beautiful, Patty. And Patty is such an example of someone who is just living her life, but has this tremendous healing capacity within her. Um, and
Mhm.
yeah. And that light language probably did a lot of good even beyond that one woman.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's just knowing that your gifts, when you activate your gifts, they're always there and they're always doing something,
Mhm.
whether you even know it or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also just an aura that you exude. When you're tapped in and you're tapped into your healing gifts, just your presence impacts
Mhm.
people.
Yeah, we all know those people, right? Where you're like, oh, I just want to be around that person.
Mhm.
He is
You
so
might be one of them.
yeah, me too.
It's healer vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, and if you have any questions about anything that we went over or about the Healer's Initiation series, just drop them into the chat there or message one of us. We're happy to answer. And
It
gosh,
starts tomorrow.
yes,
Thursday
tomorrow.
the 26th. And if you can't make the calls live, you will get all the recordings right away afterwards. So you don't have to be on the calls live. And the recordings are going to be potent.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
We make some serious magic together, y'all. If
Yes,
you haven't
we do.
experienced it,
There's a big cauldron, very
it's
big cauldron. A lot of magic. Lifetimes are in that cauldron that we
that's
took up.
right. We've been working together over many lifetimes to be able to come to you now.
Right? We've toiled and troubled through many lifetimes to come to this cauldron here. Okay.
All right. That signals the time to end.
This is how it happens when we channel all day and do a Facebook Live afterwards.
That is exactly it. We love you all.
Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you. All right. Bye.
Bye, everyone.